I'm going to do a little video here. I'm in a place called the Ion Swamp in the greater Charleston, South Carolina area, part of the Francis Marion National Forest. Here in our message today on October 19th, say that No Kings 2.0 was great. We need to step it up. And we won't have a fair election unless we acknowledge that our past election was actually stolen from us in favor of Trump. What do I mean by that? electiontruthAlliance.org, and I put the link in this video. They have findings that show a huge correlation of what's called down ballot drop off, where you'll have a bunch of Democrats all the way down from senator, your House representative member, all the way down to even your local governments, all will say Democrat, but Trump will be the president at the top as far as like what the tabulation machines record. Two of the biggest voting machine companies in the United States, their data, their systems, their files, the way the machines work, were compromised. Outside interests were able to get their hands on both of these machines. One from ES&S and another one from, everyone loves it, but Dominion. So, yeah, it was possible at a small level to always be able to corrupt these machines. I've seen a video on it. It's real easy. You get a badge to be a precinct volunteer. So you have admin permissions. You can go in there. You can change the database tables to say, all right, for this name, it's going to be this barcode. Okay. If somebody selects this, like Harris, in the interface, and then it'll give this QR code. But let's say in the tabulation machine, QR code for Trump shows for Trump, QR code for Harris shows for Harris. Well, let's say on the actual machine where you have the graphical user interface to select who you want, Harris, Trump, whatever. Let's say at some point in time it switches over, code buried beneath it in a config file for a non-major update, which they were somehow allowed to do, switches on after X number of votes on that machine. Maybe it's 65% of the precinct is reporting, but it wouldn't be something like that. It would be something like they would analyze beforehand for that particular machine what the total count would be, and kind of have like an idea. We have this many machines, we divide by this amount. Okay, so then start kicking in after this many ballots have been printed up. So then it starts switching that QR code from Harris's to Trump's, but while still printing the name Harris. So when you print out that ballot, it shows Harris, but that QR code is actually for Trump. You go, you put it in the machine, beep, bop, beep. You have just voted for Trump per that QR code. Now, if you went back and you did a hand count, you looked at it, you did your own scan, or maybe you saw that at some point in time, you're looking at the QR codes and you're like, oh shit, well, I scanned this one, it says Trump, and it says Trump verbally on there. But this one verbally says Harris, but I scanned the QR code. Oh, it's showing as Trump. How about that? The voter wouldn't know. The voter would think they voted for Harris. So Election Truth Alliance is showing that at the precinct level, there are a bunch of people voting, right? And then you find out that looking at the precinct level, around 60 to 70% of the total voters reporting in, when you start to see a major shift towards Trump, it's no longer chaotic, like, Trump, 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 Harris, Harris, Trump, Harris, Trump, Harris. It starts to go more like Trump, 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 but keeping whatever they voted down ballot from Trump. Except in some cases, they did see some discrepancies at the senatorial races, gubernatorial, the House, even state positions and whatnot, and even, of course, your comptroller within your little city. Those were, for most case, fine. But at the presidential level, immense amount of correlation showing manipulation and showing something called the Russian tail. And if you look at this scatter plot showing percent of votes reporting in, or voters reporting in at the precinct level versus down ballot discrepancies, you'll notice that it starts to go skyrocket. And this is the same analysis that they use to show that Putin's Russia and Uganda and other authoritarian regimes to show clear manipulation with machines. In the case of Russia, a website they use to vote, completely secure. So, electiontruthalliance.org. Remember that.